Hey guys, in this video I'll be telling you the pros and cons of every fighting style. I'll be going in chronological order, from the cheapest to the most expensive fighting style, with timestamps in the video. Now, let's begin. The combat fighting style is the cheapest, it's free, and worst fighting style in the game. Ironically though, it's the rarest fighting style in the game, since once you buy a new fighting style, you can never go back to combat, making it the rarest fighting style. Anyway, pros of this fighting style are that it's free since you get it instantly when you first start the game. Cons of this fighting style are that it does low damage, has only 2 moves, the abilities have short range, and in general it sucks in basically every category. Overall this is the worst fighting style, but to be fair, it is free and a beginner fighting style that we've all used at some point during our journey. The Dark Step fighting style is a first C fighting style, costing 150,000 money. Pros of this fighting style are that it's cheap with an excellent price to performance value, has a low mastery requirement, and does decent damage. Cons of this fighting style are that it has the slowest M1 attack in the entire game, moves have a short range, and a small AoE. Overall, this is a decent fighting style, although there are lots of cons, it has an excellent price to performance. The Electric fighting style is a first C fighting style, and costs 500,000 money. Pros of this fighting style are that the M1 attack speed is decent, the C move stuns the enemy for a decent amount of time, and has good AoE and damage. Cons of this fighting style are that rubber users are immune to this fighting style, the moves have pretty low range, and the price to performance is horrible. The Z move also has a pretty long startup time. Also, like I said before, it has a horrible price to performance. For 250,000 more you can get Water Kung Fu, the best first C fighting style which is also very good early and second C. Or for 350,000 less money, you can get Dark Step, and although it's a bit worse than Electric isn't worth the extra 350,000. Overall this is a good fighting style, but the worst for the first C since it has a bad price to performance. The Water Kung Fu fighting style is a first C fighting style, and costs 750,000 money. Pros of this fighting style are that it has a good M1 attack speed, does good damage, and all the moves have good AoE and range. Cons of this fighting style are that the C move is single target making it unideal for grinding, pretty expensive for the first C, but worth it, and the moves have a bit of lag. Overall this is a great fighting style for the first C, and even good for early into the second C, as it does good damage and most of the moves have good AoE. The Dragon Breath fighting style is a second C fighting style, and costs 1,500 fragments. Pros of this fighting style are that it's considerably cheap, has a very good price to performance, it does good damage and all moves are multi-target. Cons of this fighting style are that the C move is a long startup time, the moves are short-ranged, and most of the moves have high knockback. Overall this is a great fighting style, it's very cheap, and all the moves are multi-target but they have a pretty high knockback. The Superhuman fighting style is a second C fighting style, costing 3 million money. Pros of this fighting style are that it's excellent for PvP even when it's past its prime, it does good damage, and the X and C move break instinct. The Z and C move can also be used for mobility, and the X move has a huge AoE. Cons of this fighting style are that it's hard and expensive to get, requiring 300 or more mastery on Dark Step, Electric, Water Kung Fu, and Dragon Breath. And although all the moves break instinct, they can also be instinct trickable, and Superhuman isn't great for grinding since the Z and C moves are single target. It also sucks for grinding sea beasts since almost all the moves don't work on them for some reason. Overall this is a good fighting style, it's great for PvP, and is fine for grinding. The Death Step fighting style is a second C fighting style, costing 2,500,000 money and 5,000 fragments. Pros of this fighting style are that the X move has a long range, the C move stuns the enemy, and the fire from the V move breaks instinct. It's also great for both PvP and grinding as almost all the moves are great and suitable. Cons of this fighting style are that the M1 attack speed is pretty slow, and the moves are very weak to air PvP since they require good aim / just aren't suitable. And as of right now, this fighting style has the biggest move mastery requirement being 400, which means extra mastery grinding. Overall this is a great fighting style, it does good damage and is very versatile. The Sharkman Karate fighting style is a second C fighting style, costing 2,500,000 money and 5,000 fragments. Pros of this fighting style are that it has a very fast M1 attack speed, it has great damage, all moves have good AoE, and the X and C move break instinct. The Z move can also be used for mobility, almost all moves can deal damage to sea beasts, and the moves are very fast, making it great for PvP or grinding. Cons of this fighting style are that the Z move can be instinct tricked, and the C move has insane knockback, making it bad for grinding. Overall, this is an excellent fighting style. It's excellent for grinding due to its high damage and fast M1 attacks, and great for PvP for its combo potential. The Electric Claw fighting style is a third C fighting style, costing 3 million money and 5,000 fragments. Pros of this fighting style are that it does very high damage, all the moves can be used for mobility, very good for PvP, and all moves stun the enemy a bit. The C move also has a bit of auto-aim, and all the moves can be used on sea beasts. Cons of this fighting style are that it's weak to air PvP, and the M1 isn't that fast. Overall, this is an excellent fighting style. It's great for grinding, does good damage, great for PvP due to its combo potential, and great for killing sea beasts. The Dragon Talon fighting style is a third C fighting style, costing 3 million money and 5,000 fragments. Pros of this fighting style are that it does very high damage, most moves have large AoE, the C move and the flames from X move break instinct, and the Z move can be used for mobility. It's also great for sea beast hunting, since most of the moves can damage sea beasts. Cons of this fighting style are that the Z and X moves can be instinct tricked, and the C move start time is quite long, which can easily let you get comboed. It's also not that good for PvP since the moves can easily be dodged and just aren't built for PvP. Overall, this is a great fighting style, it does high damage and is good for grinding, but lacks in PvP. The Sanguine Arts fighting style is a third C fighting style, costing 5 million money and 5,000 fragments. Pros of this fighting style are that the M1 attack range is much longer than any other fighting style at the moment, it's basically a mini Buddha. The Z move also heals like 20% of your maximum health, which is very useful in both PvP and grinding, and all the moves can break instinct. The C move also has auto-aim if your enemy is close enough, and all the moves can deal damage to sea beasts. Cons of this fighting style are that the C move prevents you from moving for around less than a second, so if you miss the attack your enemy can easily combo you. Overall, this is a perfect fighting style, it's excellent for PvP, excellent for grinding, and excellent for hunting sea events. The Godhuman fighting style is a third C fighting style, costing 5 million money, 5,000 fragments, and your sanity. Pros of this fighting style are that it does great damage, has a fast M1 attack, all moves can break instinct, and most moves have good stun. All the moves are very fast-paced and built for PvP, making this one off, if not the best fighting style for PvP. It's also great for grinding since the M1 attack is pretty fast, and it does good damage. Cons of this fighting style are that it's stupidly expensive and grindy to get. In total it'll cost you 20,400,000 money, and 26,500 fragments. You'll also need 400 plus mastery on every fighting style except Sanguine Arts and Combat, which is a bunch of extra hours of grinding. It's also very bad for grinding sea events since only the X move does good damage, the rest of the moves don't work/do measly damage. And although this fighting style is good for grinding, the moves aren't, since the Z and C move are single target and have pretty high knockback. Overall, this is a superb fighting style, it excels in PvP, the Z and C move can be used for mobility, it's great for grinding, but isn't good for hunting sea events. Anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing, I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, bye.